there in that space. Okay. And the next point I want to make is, say, imagining outcomes of a situation or an event that you have been thinking about will make you get through that event or go through that process in a smooth manner, and it will keep you motivated. Say, I want to keep at my fitness every day and keep getting better every day. So when I think the outcome of that situation, that I'll be fit and I'll be healthy, that the part of me thinking where I'll be healthy will make me motivated and keep me motivated throughout the journey. And you have to imagine, if you imagine your illusion properly, you might get what you want. And it's you need not necessarily understand why it worked, but it's just important that it worked out, right? And the last point I want to make is managing your odds for success. So in this book, Scott Adams says that every skill you acquire doubles your odds for success. You need not be great at that skill that you acquire. Being just good or merely good is also good enough. He says that being good at two skills is better than being excellent at one skill. So the more skills that we acquire, the better the chance or the odds we have for success. So there's just too much information to give from this book, and yeah. So I would like to summarize these 5 points, which are you have to fail to succeed, to get to a point where you know what you want to do in your life or what you're good at doing. And the second point is system oriented approach versus goal oriented approach. The third point is sitting position. Your when you know when you differentiate between the work position and the relaxation position, your brain will not get messed up. And the fourth point is imagining the outcomes of the situation so that it will keep you motivated to get through it. And fifth one is managing your odds of success by increasing the number of skills that you acquire. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Swati. One point that I've liked is, we have to always strive and try different things so that, we'll find out what we are good at. And that point actually resonated with me. Thank you so much
Yes.
for there.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Bharat. Thank you so much.
yeah, well, Karthik and Sahana, one of you can, start with your topic. I'll just start the timer.
Am I audible?
Yeah, Shana, you're audible.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Bharat. Thank you, Supra. Great sharing, Swati. To all of them who don't know me, I'm Sahana. I work for an investment bank, and this is a great platform for learning because it's too many books and a lot of knowledge. So, thank you. I'm here to talk about from the book. Top excuses start winning. I chose to talk about having a purpose, chapter I picked up. So we all come into this world with a purpose. So it's very important for us to identify what the purpose is. It could be for us to maybe help people, or to understand ourselves more, or the purpose could be anything, to have a life of meaning. So what the author talks about here is he says it's very important to find the purpose and work on it because it completes what we are doing or what we have come here for. So to find a purpose, and once you find a purpose, we don't feel like stopping for it because we've understood the meaning and worth of what we are here for. And he's given us one very important thing. So he says, question yourself to know what you are. So it could be relationship, aspiration, idea of success, or really it could be service to the society. It could be anything. So he's given examples of Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King. So all these people came into came into life or showed up their purpose only to help the society, to the people they wanted to give away. So we it's very important to date ourselves. So I think Vijay so says that, sit 30 minutes with yourself twice a week and date yourself to know what you want to do in this life and what's the purpose of being here. I think he's created a great platform of Peak Impact Mentorship because it was his passion to impact people and with their communication skills or with life skills. So it was his passion, so he found out a purpose and he worked for it. So it's important for us also to do like that, because we could all be something to this society. We have to give back to the mother earth, or it could be for anything that matters. It could be friends, family, all of that. So he's mentioned one thing very important, that stop justifying when we know the purpose. So when we sit and they do a self analysis, we need to know the purpose. So once we know the purpose, we should not give any justification or an excuse to pursue the purpose. So it's very important to really identify the one main important purpose. And one favorite line that I really liked and I picked it up was, a life without a vision and a purpose is just an illusion and nothing else. So a man here comes not just to live, but to give a meaning to why he's being alive. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Well on time, Sahana. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Yeah, you'll also go, Karthik. Yeah,
Yeah.
Start the timer for Karthik.
just a second, Karthik. I'll start your time.
So hope my voice is audible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's clear.
So yeah. So can I share my screen?
Share it. You have the rights, I believe. Share.
Yeah. Like before that, I'm going to talk about a very interesting success habits from one of the interesting books. I'm sure you all like it. Before sharing my screen, I'll be talking about a person called Darren Hardy. To tell about Darren Hardy, at the age of 18, he was already making a six-figure income. When he was 20, he owned his own house. When he was 24, he was making $1 million from his business. And at the age of 27, he was declared a self-made millionaire because his business revenue was more than $50 million. So you may ask, how did he achieve all this at a very young age? Okay, and he's none other than the author of this book, Compound Effect, and this compound effect principle was shared with him by his father. Uh, I'm not able to share my screen, I guess. Bharat?
Bharat, you can make me co-host.
Okay.
Sure, Kiran.
Post disabled participant screen sharing.
Yeah, done, Kiran.
Yeah, done. Can you share
Okay.
now?
Thanks.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So coming to the next point, what I wanted to share, just a small question to everyone. So if somebody offers 3 crores or 30 days, so what would you choose? Okay. So if I had an old mindset, I would have chosen 3 crores because it's 3 crores, right? So I'll coming to the next point. If I see if 3 crores or a penny doubled every other day for 30 days, okay. So what will be the result? We'll just see. See, at the end of 25 days, the penny doubled will be having a value of 1.6 crores. Okay, at the end of 25 days, it's still less than 3 crores. So it will only touch 3 crores when it is day 26. Okay, so it will take 26 days for us to reach 3 crores every penny doubled every day. If you take another next 4 days, by the end of day 30, you will be having 53 crores, not 5 crores, 53 crores. So if you would have already chosen 3 crores first day, I would have lost almost 50 crores at the end of 30 days. Okay. So this is the effect of compounding. Okay, we'll just take this to our habits and behaviors. Okay, by taking a story of 3 friends, we have Larry, Scott, Brad. All 3 guys make 10 lakhs per year income. Okay, so if you take Larry, he is doing always what is done. He's a happy person and he occasionally complains about life, that nothing ever changes. Coming to Scott, he reads 10 pages of book every day. He listens to 30 minutes of inspirational audio every day. He decided to cut 125 calories and takes little extra steps every day. Not a big deal. It's very small change, but doable by anyone. Okay. So coming to Brad, he got a big screen TV. He tried some recipes. He likes cheesy casseroles or desserts. He added one alcoholic drink every week. He likes to have more fun. Okay. So everything is very small, minute things. So if you see at the end of 5 months, there is no significant difference. Even at the end of 10 months, there is no significant difference. But if you see at the end of 18 months, there is a slight difference. But at the end of 25 months, there is a much visible difference, okay, between the three friends. So what we will understand what is the ripple effect. So 31 months is 940 days. That means the calories, if you calculate, so he would have added 33.5 pounds at the end of 31 months. That means Brad is 67 pounds more than Scott, and Larry is same at the end of 3 years. Scott added 1,000 hours of books, audio plus practice, implemented those learnings into his work. He got promotion, he got raise, and he has a good marriage. But whereas Brad is not much happy because he has added weight, not both to his mind and the body. He's less confident, less attractive, and his marriage is on rocks. So all these three things are very small, but at the end of 2-3 years, it has added a huge ripple effect. So last, what I would like to say is, we live in a microwave mentality wherein we keep the food heated for 2 minutes, the food becomes hot. Whereas the same principle may not apply in our real lives at so many instances. Versus if you compare to the grandparents' work ethics, they were working hard, they had discipline, so many things, right? So we need to learn those things, that microwave mentality is not just the only thing, because at the long term, all these small things will give massive results. These small things may look mundane, may look boring, but seriously, it will give massive results because of the compound effect. That's what I wanted to share. By being part of PIM, I also would like to move towards Scott position so that, yeah, I can see our future to be bright. Thank you all.
Right on time.
Right on time, Karthik, and also the wonderful topic of compound effect. It's actually an eye-opener concept for me also. So this is really great. The way you explain, right, with the data form, that actually helps. So we can easily understand. Yeah, if we would have gone with the money, we would have ended up with a lot less amount of, cash. Since we have chosen time, yeah, it is, we got benefits. Excellent. So yeah, I can see Vimal. Yeah, Vimal, you can go ahead with the talk.
Hello all, this is Vimal. So today I'm going
In
to
Vimal, can you like turn on your video maybe if possible?
yeah, I'll try.
Yeah. Oh, great. I'll just turn on your timer. You can start.
So hello all, this is Vimal, and today I'm going to talk about the skill of listening, which is from the book How to Win Friends and Influence. So I will start my speech with the quote by Ralph Nicholas, which goes like, the most basic need of human is to understand and to be understood, and to understand any person, or to build any good relationship, skill plays a very important role. And to become a good leader in your family or in the workplace, we should always develop a strong relationship with people. And to develop a strong relationship, uh, good listening is very important. I think many of us would have come in a situation where we are listening to something, and then suddenly a question pops up in our mind, or we distracted and we don't listen what the other person is saying, and we lose the value or the teaching which other person is saying. Um, and also, I'm going to share a story which goes like, once. A son asks his mom, tells her mom that his mom that uh, I know you love me so much, and the mom asks, "Yeah, son, I love you so much. Did you doubt it?" And the son says, "I know, mom, you love me so much because whenever I want to share something with you, you always stop everything what you are doing, and you listening to me. That's the power of listening. And also I want to share from my personal life, sometimes when somebody is coming to me and sharing his problem in office life or personal lives, sometimes we don't listen to the problem fully, and we just started giving some solution or something, and that the other person will not like. But once I start listening to the full thing and paid attention to everything what the other person is saying, it helped me so much. Now I want to sum up everything with uh, like skill is very important in every aspect of our life, from professional to personal, and listening plays a very important role in building good relationship with other people and to become a good leader. Listening is very important. That's all, guys. Thank you.
That's really wonderful, Vimal. And I just love the way you narrated that example. It was really nice.
Actually, Vimal shared his outline with me. Uh, so he shared the outline, and then we had a discussion where I have requested him if he can share any of his personal experience. That also he added. So it is a wonderful talk, Vimal. The biggest gift we can give anybody is our undivided attention of our time. So that includes time as well, listening as well, right? So wonderful sharing. So before we go on to the next speaker, we would like to invite people who are joining us for the first time. You can just give us a basic intro like name, profession, where are you from, and who invited you, and then we'll go to our next speaker. We have something here. Vaibhav, can you introduce yourself? Who invited you? Where are you from?
Can you hear us, Vaibhav?
Okay, maybe he's lost, I guess. Yeah. Next, I see T. Can you introduce yourself, T?
You can unmute him actually.
Yeah, I'm unmuting you. Okay. Yeah, you can speak. Okay. Okay. Any new people?
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Tushara, and I'm a student. I'm pursuing MBA right now, specialized in HR, and I'm also a very lover of books. But of late, I have not been finding time to read books. So Bharat and Supra, both of them are my friends, and then they told me about this book. I mean, the club, and then I felt it was very interesting that they give up one particular book every day, and then there's a forum where we can discuss what each one has learned from it. So yeah, that's how I've ended up here, and I would like to thank Bharat and Supra for this opportunity. And
Welcome to
for
the
sure, I will also be actively participating from the next week.
Thank you, Tushara. Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Anyone else wants to introduce yourself? Okay, so we'll go to our next speaker, Sai Vinith. I've seen that you raised your hand. Yeah, let me pin your video and then start your timer. Yeah, you're good to go, Sai Vinith. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, are you able to see me? Is my voice clear also?
Yes.
perfect. You can start.
This is Sai Vinit from basically from Bangalore, but born and brought up in Telangana. Today I want to discuss a topic about mind your business from Robert Kiyosaki. Basically, he's a person who always talks about assets. Why he talks about assets was many people is having something in their mindset that assets will make them feel bad when they are in financial crisis. Many people will have that feeling, so he want to take out that feeling. That's why he states many times many things about assets, and in this chapter he will clearly tell what are assets. Basically, assets are the things like it will be, you can tell stock market and bonds, and it will be like you are having intellectual property rights and patents, and what are the things which will give you life. So he want to describe in such a way that assets are the things that which will keep you moving further, easier and faster. So, and he also tells that if you want to do something in your life, you need to be very much interested and you should sound so much passionate about that. Why he was telling that, he done an analysis and he came to know that in a 5 years, if you take any company, out of 10 companies, 9 companies will go down and only one company goes up. So he will not recommend for everyone to start business, but he's recommending us to do in part time or in leisure time or in weekends to invest something in assets. Assets in the sense I explained you before, like it can be a stock, it can be patents, it can be bonds. So what he wants to tell again also, that when you're teaching to your kids, when you're sending them to schools, you need to teach them about assets and you need to teach them about liabilities. So if you're not going to teach them about liabilities and assets, what happens was they will get again into a trap of credit cards. Again, they will be sticking to loans and they will be wasting a lot of time in paying the loans only. So when you invest something in your assets, it will be a backup for you now and for career also. And we all know that McDonald's is just a burger company. But after reading this book, I came to know that he's one of the biggest owner of real estate. So he has a lot of things than only burger business. So he has built many assets. So now he is one of the richest. And if McDonald's will close up, also he will be a good. He will be having a lot of money. Why? Because he already into real estate business. So this all from my side. Start investing in assets and make something which makes you feel good.
That's wonderful sharing, Sai Vinith, and you finished before time. So it was really nice.
Yeah, you have clearly explained between assets and liabilities. So as you said, we should always try hard to build our assets rather than falling for the liabilities. Yeah, and to a good example of McDonald's owner. So next, who will be our speaker? Can raise your hand. Dilip Chachu, you will go next.
Bharat, I'm outside, so will not be able to speak.
No problem, Chachu. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll speak next week.
Sure, no problem.
So I'll be speaking next. Bharat, you can put the timer for me. Yeah. Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the wonderful book club. Today, I'm really very excited to speak, and I was really waiting when Bharat will be calling my name. So yeah, I got my chance. Today, I'll be speaking about the different habits. This is from the book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Today, I'll be talking about the habit 3. And before we go to habit 3, it says that habit 1 and 2 are very much essential, or it's the prerequisites for habit 3. So before starting all these habits, I would like to say one important thing here. Things which matters most must never be at the mercy of things which matters the least. So I loved this quotation and I thought I should be sharing it with everyone. And there was 2 different questions which was written by the author, and I actually focused, stressed my brain a little bit, and I thought for a while that why should not I put this question across everyone and they can also think about this for some time. The question 1 goes like, which one thing could you do that if you could do on a regular basis and that would make a tremendous positive difference in your personal life? This is the first question. Think about it. And you should be thinking very stressfully on the topic that you can do it on an everyday basis in your personal life. And the question 2 goes in your professional life. That what one thing you will change and it will bring a tremendous positive change in your life. So this is not like we're going to share the answers here. This you are going to ask for yourself and write the answers in a notebook and try to put that on a daily basis and see whether we are really able to maintain it consistently. This basically talk about the consistency here, these 2 questions. So coming to the principle of personal management, which I'll be talking today, the habit 1 talks that we every individual are the creator. So we are in charge of everything that we create inside ourselves, inside our brain or everything. So habit ones completely talks about that, and it has four unique human endowments. So that consist of the imagination, the first, the conscience, the independent will, which we are, the self-awareness. So I cannot complete the overall topic of habit one, but as habit one and two are directly related to habit three, I'll be just touching on the major points of it. And habit two, when we talk about, it talks about the mental creation. When habit one talks about you are the creator, means you create each and every thoughts of yours. And then second, it is the mental creation. After you had a thought, you start creating that particular thing in your mind before it could really come up to you. And then comes the imagination. After creating inside your brain, then you start imagining about it. That's the next stage. And coming to habit three, that is our second creation, that is the physical creation. So here the author tells about a very important thing. So we have two parts of the brain, and the left and the right. So the management parts always comes in the left, and the leadership parts always comes in the right. So it says that always manage from your left and lead from your right. Why does the author always says this kind of thing? Because I would like to touch these things. Whenever we are talking about a habit, like putting first thing first, however your schedule could be, if you have learned the art of putting which thing goes first, then it's very simple for us to decide where we will lead to. This particular thing, when I'm narrating it here, when he wanted to know that why the successful people share something. Here E.M. Gary, E.M. Gary is the person over here who shares about a thing here, how it happens. So basically I'll be summarizing the whole talk because my time is up. So putting first thing first could be the first priority. Thank you everyone. I really could not summarize.
Yeah, thank you so much, Supra. First things first. So if we know our, usually we do, right, in the morning. So if we plan our day and we prioritize our work, we'll be more, effective throughout the day. So this first things first concept actually works for all of us. Thank you so much. So next I'll be going. So today, hi everyone, this is Bharat here. I'm, currently working as technology lead in Bangalore, and I've been part of PIM for close to 2 years now. So today my topic will be Law of Magnetism by from 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. Today I'll be sharing one concept called as Law of Magnetism. So Law of Magnetism is basically states that we all attract what we are. Okay. So many a times you would have seen, right, many people or many organizations usually saying this currently we are looking for good people, but we are not finding any. If you see that mostly the HRs usually say this whenever they're going for any recruitment or not. So when they see actually what happens over there is they're actually not looking at the right place, because they are looking at the different place. For example, how this concept works is, for example, there is a startup called as Ofo. Many of you didn't even hear about it actually. So it's a same startup which is into renting bikes. Okay, and there is another startup which most of you in Bangalore, if you are living in Bangalore, would know, Bounce. Okay, so only difference between these two companies is actually, Ofo couldn't attract right people, but Bounce attracted right people, and they became a profitable startup. Actually, even both the companies had got same funding. Okay, from Ofo got $700 million from Alibaba, and Bounce had got some similar amount of funding from SoftBank. But Ofo attracted right professional. Bounce attracted right professionals, so that they grew in their ecosystem. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to tell. When if you have all the qualities, that's when you attract right kind of people. The second concept is, many people say that I'm looking for a right job and I'm looking for a right company. Actually, there isn't any right job or right company. Actually, you should know what you actually want in life. There are actually right jobs in this world. If you say any ISRO, or if you any take top organization like even IAS, these are all the top jobs. Those jobs are actually there. But the thing is that, when you are actually getting ready for those jobs, you need to be well prepared. You need to have right, knowledge, and you need to have right skills, and you need to evaluate yourself whether you are the right person or not for those jobs. Okay. The third person is, many people say that, I'm looking for a right soulmate. Okay. So when people ask somebody like, what kind of a person that you're looking for, most people say that, they'll, tell like, I'm looking for a so and so person with these qualities. But what we need to do is, we need to evaluate ourselves whether we have those qualities in us. Okay. So that's my concept for today. So let me summarize. So basically what I'm trying to tell through law of magnetism is, so we basically attract, so we basically attract what we are. Okay. So these are the qualities if we have, and then we'll attract accordingly. So that is my sharing for today. And before I end, I would like to, invite my mother. She actually, started reading books. Seeing both of us, who have been reading for past 2-3 weeks, we have been in my hometown. We are reading, and my mother also started, reading book, and she wanted to share a quick share. She'll be sharing it in Telugu, but I'll be changing it into English. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Kalpan Madani. నేను దివ్య భవాన్ ఎందుకు తెలుగుతున్నాను లేటెస్ట్గా, అందులో మీకు కొన్ని పాయింట్స్ చెప్తాను. ఓకేనా? ఏదైనా కొత్తగా భిన్నంగా సృజనాత్మకంగా ఆలోచించే వారే ఎప్పుడు విజయాలను అందిపుచ్చుకుంటారు అన్న పాయింట్ గురించి నేను చెప్తున్నాను. అత్యంత మేధాశక్తి ఉన్నవారే సృజనాత్మకంగా ఆలోచించుతారు అనుకోవడం పొరపాటు. ఇటీవల గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతంలోని రైతులకు ఆధునిక సేద్య నైపుణ్యాలను వివరించడానికి వెళ్ళిన వ్యవసాయ శాస్త్రజ్ఞులు అక్కడ రైతులను అవలంబించే పద్ధతులు చూసి విస్తుపోయారు. అడుగున రంధ్రం ఉన్న కుండను ఓ చెట్టు మొదలున ఉంచి ఆ కుండలో నీళ్లు నింపడం ద్వారా రైతులు నీళ్లను వృధా కాకుండా ఆ చెట్టుకు రోజంతా నీళ్లు అందే ఏర్పాట్లు చేయగలిగారు. ఇది చూసి వాళ్ళు చాలా, అంటే మేము చెప్పేది చాలా ఆలోచించి చాలా గొప్పగా చెప్తామని వెళ్ళిన శాస్త్రజ్ఞులు, వాళ్ళు చదువుకోకపోయినా వాళ్ళు రకంగా ఆలోచించి వాళ్ళ ఆలోచనలతో ఇలా చేసినందుకు వీళ్ళు చాలా విసిగిపోయి చాలా ఆలోచించారు, చాలా బాగా చేస్తున్నారని సంతోషంగా చెప్పారనమాట. ఇదే లాస్ట్, ఇంకా నెక్స్ట్ టైం మళ్ళీ వేరేగా చెప్తాను. మంచి పాయింట్స్ చెప్తాను ఇంకాను.
Okay, now I'll convert it into, thank you mom, now I'll convert it into English. So what he is telling is like, we need to have a different thought process to be successful. That is the first point. And the second story that she was telling is, so there was a village, so there was few scientists who wanted to help a bunch of farmers, okay, in cultivation of their land. So they had some idea wherein they have an effective way of watering their farms. So they wanted to tell this idea to the farmers. So when they went to their village, but to talk to the farmers, but what they have seen is like, the farmers are already having a very great method where they're effectively watering their farms. It's like basically a tree. What they did is, they had a small pot, and they put a small hole to that pot. So when they fill that pot, that small water comes out and goes into the land and soil. So this way they're actually not wasting any water, and throughout the day little bit of water goes into the soil, and this way they're saving a lot of water. So this is what you don't have to be actually doing so much of great things to be successful. You just need to have a different thought process to be successful. Yeah, that is what she was trying to convey. Yeah. So
Okay, we have Vaibhav who is raising the hand to do the interaction.
Vaibhav, you want to introduce yourself? I'm unmuting you. You can introduce yourself, Vaibhav. Yeah, Vaibhav, we can. Yeah, you can speak.
So hello, good afternoon. I myself Vaibhav. Okay, so I am starting with you. So hello, and I'm studying class 8 in Odisha, and I want to explain that
It's okay, Vaibhav. You can. It's
We
okay.
are
You
happy
can.
we have
Yeah.
a student in our
Yes.
book club actually. Welcome, Vaibhav, to the book club.
And I've also studied in Saint Anne's actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome, Vaibhav. Good to see you here. And yeah, I see that here Aman is there with us. He wants to go next. Aman, uh, I'll spotlight you. You can go next.
Hi everyone, I'm Aman. Basically, I'm an electrical engineer working for a Australian-based startup company. Can I share my screen, Bharat?
1 second, Aman. Yeah, yeah, you can share your screen.
Yeah, today I'll going to share about my thoughts regarding the book called Selfie of Success, written by Burra Venkatesham. This is one of the best-selling book in Amazon. So success, we all know about, like success is a means accomplishment of an aim or goal. And another definition is success is a peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you, and you are making effort to do your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. And coming to this book, the author capturing the world of success with various facets, nature, and phases. And while approaching these facets, one can sense the feelings and vibrations. Like when the success, when someone is becomes success, there are other people to take some feedback from him, like how became his success and all those things. And it will also give insights to various settings of success with its seeds, signals, sources, and smiles. So author is differently thinking about the success, and he is explaining with a lot of examples. What are the seeds of success, like signals of success and sources of success, all those things. And he also describes about safeguarding oneself from various side effects of success. Like once he becomes success, means automatically means ego will rise. So how he can maintain all those things, like what are the do's and don'ts during that period, and which you should follow with a view to retaining success. And coming to introduction, so you have been successful individual so far in your life. So just imagine how many people were born, and you were born at the same time. And you just think about uh, how many people you have reached the level that you are in today. So be it education, health, wealth, or any other parameter you can consider. And you are far successful that what you and others think, both personally and indirectly. And your thoughts may speak contraries, and tell you that there is a lack of success in your life, and there is a desperate need for success, and you are reflex to hear it other way around. And you must have spent hours in introspection, and you must have read innumerable books about success. But do you know the secrets of success? Like he's just questioning ourselves, like how you can approach success, and how people approach success, and these things. And every being, like since the beginning of the creation, from single celled organism to complex organisms like human beings, have always wanted to be friends of success, and companions of success. So they always want to reach and retain success. So regarding this thing, so the author is sharing about, like here is success archaic roots taking shape in modern day uh, mold to you tell you the stories of success by the name of Selfie of Success. So in the Selfie of Success book, what he is explaining is like how you may feel when the success is around you, and how to recognize success in distinct presence, and means what are the structured syllabus to approach success, and how to make a habit of attaining success in your endeavors, and along with your merits and demerits of retaining success. There, like when you are achieving success, there will be advantages and disadvantages. Both author is explaining about, and he is also explaining like no other authors are focusing on like what are all the side effects of success, and he's explaining about side effects of championship, and also sins and costs of retaining me. So this is one of the good book. I request all our participants to go through this book. So this is what from my side, Bharat.
Thank you so much, Aman. That's a very good sharing. It would be good if you can share us this document. It's a very nice, description about success. Yeah. So if we keep going at it, one single thing, surely we're gonna meet success. Yeah, even though we might, fail sometimes, it's not the end point. So we have to keep going forward, to get a taste of success. So thank you so much, Aman. Next, Rupa.
Yeah, thanks for it.
Can you go next?
Hello and good afternoon, everyone.
1 second, Rupa. I'll just.
All are audible?
Yes. 1 second. I'll keep you on.
Hello.
Yeah, we
and
can.
good afternoon, everyone.
1 minute, wait. I will just start the timer. Yeah.
I'll start your timer and then you can start. You can start.
I am very happy to be a part of this book club, and I am thankful to Bharat and Supra. I got an opportunity to speak here and sharing something about my learning, what I have learned. About myself, I am Rupa Das, MBA in HR and currently working as teacher since 7 years. Today, I will be talking about the teaching of Mahabharata, which we can relate with our current life. First, I will tell about something the bad company. What we learned from Mahabharata. Like bad company is indeed bad. The example of Sagnimam is one character that every reader, whenever we read Mahabharata, when we listen his name, we always think bad, negative about him. He destroyed what Kauravas owned. So it is very important to choose with whom we are spending our time. This is the first point what we know about the bad company. Secondly, we must think about what we will do. We must create good friends. We must have loyal friends and unconditional support. Example, Lord Krishna and Karna. Lord Krishna always backed Pandavas, while Karna always supported Kauravas, because that decides that the friend will always be with you and never let you go towards incorrect direction. So we must have loyal friends. Thirdly, the best gift that we can gift ourselves is keep our learning curve upwards. We must keep on learning upwards. We can give this example of Mahabharata from Arjuna. Arjuna was the master of learning. He took whatever came his way, whatever he was learning, whatever came on his way, he was learning. For example, he learned the best of military science from Drona, learned about divine weapons from Indra, and learned about Pasupastra from Mahadev. He treated Yudhishthir and Krishna as his mentor. As learning and growth is the only thing which will help or which will keep moving with us wherever we go. And it is really very important to have a mentor in life, as that can only excel on the field we want to grow. Example, if we want to learn singing, we need to choose a coach in that field or that area. Similarly, for learning life skills too, it's important we must have a mentor in life. Lastly, very important is everything lies in strategy. It's always good to plan even though plan fails at times. When necessary to have a backup plan in place. The way Pandavas won the war was because Krishna had his master plan. Thank you each and everyone for listening me and giving me time and support. I thank Bharat and Supra who gave me this opportunity to read book and deliver some content about it. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, Didi, for joining. And yeah, we could relate the things you narrated about mentorship, the learning curve, growing upwards. Learning is like part of life, and it is always required whether we are young or old in age. It doesn't matter. Thank you and welcome to the book club.
Yeah, thank you, Didi.
Thank you.
Next, Sapu, will you be going next? Okay. Yeah. Kiran, will you be going next?
Sure. Is my voice audible?
Yeah, Kiran, I'll just spotlight you. Yeah.
Awesome. Good afternoon, guys. Really, wonderful to see you everyone here. And I'm super excited to see the way Bharat and Supra are driving. And they're one of the best volunteers in Peak Impact Mentorship. In fact, they connect with Vijay regularly and they seek guidance, they seek, coaching, mentorship. And we all are, united to really serve everyone. So thank you so much, Bharat, for really driving the book club. And also thanks to Bharat's mom. I was really inspired because it's one of my biggest dream is to also bring my mom and dad to the book club and to the growth platform, because learning never, connects with age. Age and learning are completely not proportional. It should be different. Awesome. So my topic's pretty interesting. So there's a saying, truth is never pure and rarely simple. Truth is never pure but rarely simple. And isn't it that is what is happening in current reality? Most of us, we are struggling somewhere or the other. If we are in lockdown, some people are fighting with each other, some people are in making peace with each other, some people are having conflicts at office, some people are thinking what will happen to my life, some people are thinking what will happen to my job, some people are thinking how can I be better. There are lots of conflicts happening within our mind and within our people, and many things happening. So just to share you my sheet, I've just prepared a slide presentation. So this is my topic, the third alternative. I have a very interesting topic, solving life's most difficult problems. So we all have many problems. Few of my problems I've already shared, and many people will have different type of problems. I used to have problem in speaking initially, and it used to conflict with my mind. I used to have problem with relationship before, and in fact still I'm growing in that area, and so many other issues to solve. Now, the biggest way is to find out a solution for all these problems. And you won't imagine there's a very simple and very powerful way to do it. And how can we really find the meaning? How can we really find meaningful solution to it? As Albert Einstein said, your significant problems, cannot be solved at the same level of thinking which we created them. Initially, I realized this quote long back, but then the challenge was to really understand this quote and see in our real life, how do we deal with our life situation. And you just imagine whatever situation you are in, if your thought pattern never changes, then trust me, you will give up on the problem. You will feel that there is no hope in the problem, and you will feel that it is not solvable. Rather, I compromise or live a life of loss. I run away from the problem. I tend to ignore it. Sometimes we ignore our problem just by being so positive that we think that problem is there, but then we don't even think to it until it becomes like an elephant. And that is what happens. And all these things, why it happens, all because of mental paradigms. We all, have our own childhood. We all have our own upbringings. सबके पास कुछ ना कुछ surroundings होते हैं जिसके कारण हमारे दिमाग tuned होता है. And that is where our mental maps are formed. The moment how the Google Maps is there, हमारे दिमाग में भी हमारा खुद का map होता है, which we feel it is always right, and we do not allow any other's map to interfere there. And that is where radical change in thought pattern is required. And the best way to go beyond it, beyond and to see a new approach is a approach called third alternative. Let me share you very my life's example. Most of you may not know it. In my college, since my childhood, I always used to fear to fail. And there was a professor in my college who used to teach me space dynamics, and he was मतलब बहुत ही उसको खुंदस होती थी. So in second year when I went to Germany, he realized if student is not attending the class, उसको वो note down कर देता था, ये बंदा attend नहीं कर रहा, and he used to take revenge on it. And you won't believe it, the way he took revenge. So in my final year, I think there was an elective called space dynamics, and he actually failed 50% people, and he also failed me. And I was traumatized. I felt कि life में मैं कभी fail नहीं हुआ subject में, कैसे हो गया, ये possible ही नहीं हो सकता. How can he fail me? And I took it very personal. One way to retaliate is that कि यार उस teacher को मैं कैसे अपना revenge दूँ? How can I take revenge? Other way I thought, how about having a different approach which won't harm him, not harm me, and which will also give me happiness, and he's also not bothered. I started thinking about a third alternative. And you know what I did? Unknowingly, knowingly, you also must have taken third alternative approach in your life, but you may not be aware of it. What I did is I went to my teacher and asked, how will I make, I don't want F in my report card, how do I take it? Please tell me some solution. And initially he was not listening, but then he told, Kiran, to overcome that, you have to take an elective one more subject, extra subject you have to take in next semester, you have to clear it with the other subject. And fortunately I found that way, because the way was there, the third alternative was there, and I could clear it. And why am I sharing this story, guys? Only thing is, the way we look at our problems could be different, and that is how we solve it. Now, how do you get this kind of solution? The third alternative approach is the process of synergy. And I won't speak on synergy much. Let me just show you the nature's miracles of synergy. And what are the myths about synergy? Myths is something, if you see in a business world, when someone merger acquisition happened, we feel it is a synergy, and stock prices goes up. Actually, it is not synergy. Synergy is something which creates you 1 + 1 is equal to 1,000, right? That is what synergy is all about. It is not 1 + 1 is equal to 1 or half. Let's see some examples. So this is nature's miracle. So guys, if you have ever seen this redwood tree, the redwood tree is 250 feet high, which is all 2 times bigger than 10-story building. And do you know the secret behind it? The secret behind it of redwood growing so high is because all the roots of it peers of redwood, जो भी redwood के दूसरे जो पेड़ होते हैं, उसको अंदर से अंदर they catch hold with each other. They all come together and make the roots so strong that so that they can grow much more height, which you can't imagine. The second picture you see about this one, water droplets forming a beautiful what is a snowflake, and the third is a V formation of bird. Before if the bird forms a V formation, the speed of the bird becomes twice the speed. That is the power of synergy. And you'll see human synergy. Best example is a cute baby when it is born out of parents, and that is the power of synergy of reproduction. And the synergy of team. If you are a sports person, if you are in your corporate, if you are in synergy, you will create maximum exponential growth. And finally, synergy of music. When you see your music notes are all different, but when they combine, they create beautiful sounds. So guys, today I just wanted to speak on the process of synergy. In the next week, I'll be coming up with a technique how you can really achieve the synergy to your life. So thank you so much. I hope I added some value.
Thank you so much, Kiran. As always, wonderful talk, and the way you explained, the synergy concept is too great. So we all, get ourselves into that, team where we can up our energy with the help of teamwork. Thank you, everyone. So do we have anyone else? I believe we have already crossed our time. So that's all for today, guys. You guys want to add anything? Madhavi, Kiran, others, you guys want to add anything?
Thank you, Auntie, for being here. I really enjoyed. Bhavana, Auntie. ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ నేనంటే చాలా మంచి చాలా బాగా మాట్లాడారు మీరు.
చాలా బాగా ప్రిపేర్ అవుతున్నాము అని బుక్ క్లబ్ కి.
ప్రిపేర్ అవ్వాలి కదా, లైఫ్ లో గ్రో చేయాలి.
I don't understand Telugu, but I am so enjoying this conversation.
I'm the converter everywhere. So what they are appreciating everyone and each other, and they are saying like you are prepared well for the book club, and the same has been said by Kiran as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great session.
Yeah,
Bharat, can I add something?
yeah, sure, Tushara.
Yeah, I felt so happy when Auntie actually spoke. You said that, because you both were reading, she got influenced by it. I just want to say that, I mean, that's the power of reading. Just because you both were reading, she got influenced by it and she also started to read. And now I can't wait for my turn next week. I'm eagerly waiting to, talk to everybody. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Wonderful, Tushara.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Yeah. Okay. So I just like to share one more, information. Tomorrow we have one more, wonderful session coming up by our founder Vijay. Okay. I'll just share the details. It's basically on failure. The 7 traits to fail forward. It's a wonderful session that is going to come up. For this, please reach out to the person who has invited you for this book club. Gather sufficient details, and if possible, see if you can get us a meeting link, or if you can register for this session. Okay. Actually, there are very few slots available, so try to reach out to the person and see how you can register for this session. Okay. If there is nothing else, we can all end the call and we can meet next week.
And it will be nice if everyone can pick up a topic and give your name, so you guys are also prepared and we know who comes first and speak, because me and Bharat were thinking who will come first and speak, so that's how it should be. And everyone should share your topic, so we can also go ahead and give the topic before time to Kiran, so he's very excited that the teams are proactive in sending the topics. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. I hope you'll keep growing. See you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Happy learning
Thank
and a
you.
happy weekend. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.